Since the beginning of time, women have been seen as objects and weak to the male population, whereas men have been oblivious.
My name's Emreen, and I'm an educator. You know, in thinking about gender justice work with all genders, right? A lot of times folks think feminism is just for women, and that is so not the case. Feminism is the idea that everybody should be equal, no matter whether they're boys, girls, non-binary, trans, whatever. For me, I think a lot of the things that I work with is understanding how the systems really are trying to keep us in our place so that we can't shine. And in girls, that looks a lot like our self-esteem issues, that looks a lot like our body image issues, that looks a lot like being silenced and being quiet and not having opportunities. And in boys, that looks like not being able to express emotions, being told that, like, no, boys don't cry, right? Or what it means to be a man is to be strong and powerful, but also very angry, which leads to a lot of depression and a lot of violence.
My name is Rioberto. I am a high school English teacher. I would say at an early age, like as in like being a child, I knew that there were expectations for me in like the household regarding like masculinity, regarding like how to perform that, and I knew this because I would get the questions too, or like the comments from like family of like, oh, we were worried you were going to turn out to be this, or we were worried you're going to be turn out to be that. Most of it was like, oh, worried that you're going to be gay, because that's really the extent to which like I think my family knew things around like anything like cutie POC or LGBTQIA.
Hi, my name is Em. I'm a musician, performer, creative, and an actress. When I was raped, when I was 16, I think that started for me a series of events. I mean, they'd started before that, where I really started to realize how disadvantaged I was being a woman, you know, being shouted at in the streets, being taken into situations like that, but basically being objectified. I think that moment was so real for me, in realizing, oh, all I am is a body for someone else's pleasure. I always think in those experiences, like, what do you think I'm gonna say to you? Like, if you're saying to me on the street, like you're in your car and you're like, yo, like nice ass, like, hey lady, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, do you think I'm gonna come over to your car and be like, should we go home? Like, and that's, but answering that question also makes me even more mad, because then I realize maybe there's the odd man who actually thinks he's gonna get something out of it. But I think most of them know that we're not gonna respond, and they're just doing it to assert power.
I grew up in a pretty abusive household. My grandparents, I think that that's a cultural thing. South Asian culture is very unhealthy. And so I was in an abusive relationship for most of my 20s. And I got out. And I'm a survivor. I'm thriving. I am doing work in gender justice now, and I'm like working with young girls. I am also working with young men, which I think for me as a domestic violence survivor, to go back and work with men and not be like, I hate all men and all that, but like, no, this is a systemic problem and we all need to do the work and we all need to heal. I'm really proud of myself for that.